Damn, I'm out here waiting for my damn food, so I might as well make a video. But anyway, so, this is our fight week for Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez. And there's a lot of drama, I guess you could say, quote, drama, that was going on between the two camps on this particular week. They were talking about everything from the gloves, the trainer saying that, when it pertains to Canelo Alvarez's gloves, that, on particular fights, he likes to wrap them a certain way, and then he gets custom-made gloves to fit them, basically as if it's basically saying that he's doing something illegal when it pertains to the gloves. They were talking about, the fact that he likes to eat, special steaks, special steaks for all of his fights. And then the big thing was the fact that they were talking about his, the ring size. How about, supposedly they wanted the ring size of 24 feet or whatever, but when they got there, it was substantially smaller. It was like 18, and they were upset about that. They were upset about the fact that they were supposed to have one UK judge, and that they didn't have a UK judge. When they came over there, they saw that one of them wasn't going to be from the UK. So basically, they were acting as if a lot of the things that, they wanted to have in the contract, weren't being done. They were being violated, I guess, in some way. And so, Billy Joe Saunders got really upset, supposedly, quote, got really upset, and got upset to the point where he was ready to leave, and he was ready to go back home and not fight. Where supposedly they had a John Ryder or whatever that was flying in, where if he was needed, he could do the fight instead. And, he didn't show up for the press conference, one of the press conferences, and that was also a big thing. And a lot of drama, that was happening basically between the camps. Even got Tyson Fury in there talking about, making videos about how, Eddie Hearn's really, is disrespecting Billy Joe Saunders. He's really just, all up in Canelo's tail and doing everything that Canelo wants, kind of thing, and not looking out for his fighter. And, which is all good, I guess, because a lot of attention has come to the fight, because of all this that's been happening this week. This is a fight where, I don't know, there wasn't not a lot of buzz when it comes to this fight. Not a lot of people were really talking about this fight, but the events of the last week got a lot of people interested in it, I would say. A lot of people, the way Billy Joe Saunders is out there disrespecting one of the Mexican reporters, talking about how his breath stinks and this and that, wanting to anger, the Mexican population, so they'll want to see him get his tail kicked, so they'll buy the fight. Because at the end of the day, that's all this was. This was all just building up drama, in order to promote the fight, in order to get people interested in the fight that, there wasn't really a lot of people talking about it, to be honest. But I'll give it to them. They did a super job. They did an absolutely excellent job, in getting eyes on this particular fight. Awesome job. But that's all it was. Because let's just be real. Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't need to sneak around when it comes to things. If he wants things a certain way, in order, for a fight to be made, he's going to have them that way. If the guy doesn't want to listen, the guy doesn't want to follow the direction that he wants and the things that he wants, he'll just move on to the next fighter. He doesn't care. As long as the zone's willing to pay him that check, he's straight. He'll move on. He always has options. He's the one guy that has a lot of options. Unfortunately, he doesn't always choose the option that we would like him to choose. The Caleb Plants, the Benavidez, the Charlos, the Demetrius Andres, but at the end of the day, he still has options. So if you don't want to listen, he'll just move on to the next guy. So I'm sure Billy Joe Saunders knew exactly what the situation was going to be. Okay. And then when it came to the contracts, because they said he was going to leave, and Canelo's like, if he leaves, we're going to sue him and this and that. If things aren't followed directly in the contract, you can walk away from the fight, because they're not meeting, what you want in a fight. They're not even what you want in a fight, what you negotiated. If everything isn't set the way you negotiated it, you can walk away. You can walk away. You feel like you're being wronged in any way, and they want to see you, go ahead and sue you. Hey, I was supposed to get this, and this. These points weren't met. So that's why I walked away from the fight. Okay, cool. Bye. And that would be it. You know, so, you know, that's all it was, you know. And ironically, like yesterday and today comes around, and it's, oh, give him whatever he wants. You know, Billy Joe Saunders talking about, oh, I need at least a 21-foot ring. I'm like, why would you want at least a 21-foot? If you negotiated 24, you should be like, I want 24. This is what I negotiated. This is what it is. You don't start now trying to negotiate new terms. Like, no, that's what I wanted. That's what I expect. I wanted this particular judge. That's what I expect. If that was the case, you know, and now Canelo's like, I don't care, whatever. Give him the 24 because he was going to get the 24 anyway. He was going to get the 24-foot inch ring regardless. This is all about promotion and nothing else. And I'll give it to Billy Joe Saunders. He did an awesome job. He did a spectacular job. He did a great job. You know, Gennady Golovkin wouldn't be able to do all this. It's just, it's not what he does. He wouldn't be able to do all this. But this man over here did. So, much respect to them. I guess we'll see what happens, you know, on Saturday. I personally don't really care too much about this fight. You know, it'll be interesting, I guess. I'm happy about that one of the belts is going to be on the line. I would care more about it if I truly believed that Canelo Alvarez would fight for undisputed after this fight. If that was the case, then I'd be super hyped up about it. I'd be hyped up about it, like big time. But if Billy Joe Saunders was to somehow win, I guess obviously he would have a rematch. And then with the way that Eddie Hearn maneuvers, we wouldn't be seeing it undisputed. It just wouldn't happen. When it comes to Canelo Alvarez, I always have to look at your history, you know. And your past history showed that you had 3 of the belts. And Demetrius Andrade had the last belt. And you said you wanted to be undisputed. And you could have fought him and became undisputed. But you chose not to. You didn't fight him. You let your IBF belt get stripped from you. You let your WBC belt get stripped from you. And what you promised, what you said you wanted to do, you didn't do. So because I've already seen you do that, you have to kind of prove it to me that this is something that you really want to do. You know, that's something that you're really going to make the steps to make happen. So we know Caleb Plant's on the sideline. He's waiting. You know, if Canelo Alvarez does really do a deal with him, set up a deal with him, and we got undisputed coming in September, then I'll be hyped. Then to me it'll be like, all right, cool, this is great. I don't care if he wins, he loses, whatever. We have undisputed, you know, and he basically made it happen, and it's against a real fighter in Caleb Plant, not some bum-tailed dude that all of a sudden, you know, took over and now you're doing it. No, against a real, you know, real dude. So that's what I'm, you know, that's the part that I'm waiting for. It's pretty much is what happens after this particular fight. What does he do after this fight? So because of the uncertainty, you know, due to his past behavior, when it comes to this type of situation, I can't really be hyped up about it. You know, but regardless, you know, Cinco de Mayo weekend, I guess. So just salute to all the Mexicans, the Mexicanos, and the Mexicanas. And hopefully they have a great night of boxing, you know, and the champion comes out victorious. And hopefully after this, we can get undisputed. Will we? I don't know. But hopefully we do. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.